Hello students, welcome back. So now I will show you how you can build a small chatbot. So this chatbot will actually act as a customer support. And in this chatbot, we will be using OpenAI. And essentially what it's going to do is going to ask customers like what type of issue, what type of query they have. Based on that, it's going to give it a feedback to the customers. So the first thing I do is install my OpenAI. So just come over here and just make sure you run this command right here. Pip install OpenAI. That's going to install the OpenAI for you. Already installed this thing, so I'm not doing this on my computer. Okay, after you install your OpenAI, I want to know what type of version of Python OpenAI do I have. So when I run this, it gives me I have 2.29.0 Python OpenAI version. I also want to know what version of Python I have because sometimes there could be some compatibility issues. So you want to make sure that you're using the right version. So I just want to make sure that this is compatible with this, and I know from my experience that these two are compatible, so they're going to work just fine. So let's create a simple basic API demo. I just want to see that my API keys and everything is working. So from OpenAI, import your OpenAI right here. And this is my your API key. I got this API key from your this dashboard right here. I think I showed you before, like how you can create a new API key. So just follow. You can watch my previous video. Okay, so I create this API key and I put the API key over here. By the way, it's not a good idea, or it's not a good practice to put your API key over here. Generally, you put it in an environment file, which I'll show you later on. But right now, just for the demonstration, I'm just showing you what's happening over here. Okay, so my API key is over here. And by the way, on a side note, I'll delete this API key once this is done. So this would not work later on. Okay, then I create a client right here. So in my client, you pass your API key, and this right here is responsible for interacting with your OpenAI large language model. So this is your API right here, this whole thing. Okay, so in this case, I'm specifying model that I want to see this model. I want my response from this model, and the role I want user, and the content I want is this right here. So this is the question I'm asking. This is what I'm giving instruction to the AI. I'm saying, explain me the role of API in large language model in less than 50 words. So I'm asking AI to do this for me. All right, so let's run this, and let's just wait for it. And this could take some time. And there you go, it ran. Okay, this is successful, no error. Now I want to see my response. So let's print out my response. I want to see this variable, what exactly it returned. So run this, and you can see it gave me all these response right here. It tells me completion token, prompt token, total tokens. It gives me all this information, annotations, audio, none, function call, none. So it gives you a lot of information. Now in this information right here, the most important, the relevant part for me is right here. That would be content right here. So you can see that message, chat completion message, APIs. This one right here is what I'm looking for because this is what I wanted. This was a response to my question that I just asked. So it basically tells me about large language model. So how do I get that? Well, that's easy. Just say response choices zero. That would be choices zero would be, you see they have choices right here. So this is a list. So you basically want the first element of your list, and from the first element, go to message and go to content. So this is my message right here. So where is my message? This is my message right here. And then inside the message, there is a content attribute. So this way I'm able to access that particular text right here. That would be this from here to this. I don't care about the rest of the stuff right here. So this is what I want. Okay. So this piece of code is responsible for that. So when I run this, you can see that it generates that answer for me. APIs, application programming, enables application programming interface enables communication between applications and large language models, allowing developers to integrate language processing capabilities into their software. So it gives me this response. So this is a response I got from the OpenAI large language model. Okay, now let's understand a few parameters over here. So in this particular instance, basically I'm using the same code that I used before, same model. And my message right now is tell me a joke in less than 20 words. And I'm specifying temperature over here. Temperature essentially it controls your creativity. The higher the temperature you have, the more creative or the more different your answer is going to be each time you run. And the lower your temperature is, that means it's going to be less creative. Also, tokens. You can also specify how many tokens you want this AI to generate. So you don't want, maybe for some reason, like sometimes you don't want generating it too much token because each token costs money. So you don't want that. So in this case, you can specify your temperature, also your maximum token. So in this case, I'm saying, tell me a joke in less than 20 words. And I'm also specifying maximum token over here. So let's go ahead and run this and wait for it. There you go, ran successfully. Let's print out the response. And there you go. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Well, because he was outstanding in his field. So you can see that this one actually satisfying this condition too, and also less than 20 words. And so now we build the chatbot. So first I define my system prompt right here. So my system prompt is saying that you are a polite customer support assistant for an e-commerce company. So this is an instruction going to the OpenAI. And these are the rules I'm specifying, that be polite and professional. Also, ask for an order ID when needed. Handle refunds, complaints, and product queries. So these are the types of instructions I'm giving. These are the rules I'm defining for this AI. And I'm defining a list right here. Inside my list, I'm creating a role key and I'm specifying its value as system. And the content is going to be system prompt right here. So my system is going to follow this instruction right here. Okay, then I'm running a loop. So in the loop, I'm asking the user, which is you, to type something over here. The user is going to type something. Now, if the user types exit, it's going to exit the loop. It's going to exit the program. Otherwise, it's going to keep running through this loop. So whatever the user types, it's going to define, it's going to create a list. Actually, the list is already created right here. So it's going to append to the list the role that would be user, that is you, and the content, whatever the user typed, that was right here. And then I'm going to send this to your chat gpt right here. So this is the API that's going to go that's going to be allowing you to communicate with the OpenAI tool, large language model. And then I'm going to get a response right here. This is my reply. And then I print out the bot reply. Then right here, this is something interesting. So what I'm doing over here, I'm actually taking all my previous messages and whatever response I got from my AI, I'm also adding this over there. And the reason I'm doing this thing is because I want to keep passing this message back to your client, back to your OpenAI model. So this way, your OpenAI model, it can remember the previous response. So each time when the user is asking a question, now the AI will remember what it responded in the past. And based on that, it will refine its answer. It will change accordingly. All right, so let's run this. So I'm going to come over here, just hit run and wait for it. There you go. You type to quit. So now it's going to ask you some questions. So I'm going to just copy and paste this, that, hey, I ordered some shoes. I need to return shoes. Just copy this. I'm going to paste it over here. All right, hit enter and wait for it. And there you go. Bot, you got the response. Bot, I can assist you with that. To initiate the return process, could you please provide me with your order ID? This will help me locate your order and assist you more efficiently. Thank you. So it's asking you to provide an order ID. As you can see, it actually followed these instructions right here. It even asked for the order ID. It handles all these things. Okay, so now you can just go from here further. Okay, so now let's view all the previous messages. Let's type something over here. Let's say that I do not remember my order ID. I think it is 12345. All right, enter and wait for it. And there you go, assuming. All right, so this is the message I got. Thank you for providing me the information. Let me check if the order is correct. Then I found your order. So assuming the system confirms the order ID. So this is what the chat GPT, the OpenAI tool, responded, that, hey, maybe there is a system running in the background. It checks for the order ID. So after it found the order ID, now it's going to return this message. It got this message right here. Okay, now I'm going to exit this. Exit. Okay, so now I exited this loop. So now I want to see all my previous messages. So you can just do hit print messages, and that's going to print out all the message that transpired between you and the AI tool right here. So this was the memory. So each time when you were asking question from the AI tool, this whole thing was getting passed to the AI. So this way it was able to remember what it responded in the past and what question was asked of it by the user, by the customer. Now, after this is done, you want to make sure that you delete your API key. Once you're done, you don't need the API key. So I'm just going to do that. Come back over here, and you're going to see this option right here. So when you click on this, it's going to ask you that, do you want to, are you sure you want to delete the API key? And the answer is yes. Hit revoke key, and that's going to disable your key.